I want to now invite members of our team to help in the briefing on our preparations for Hurricane Florence. I'm joined by Chief Dean, Chief Newsham, Director Chris Rodriguez from HSEMA, Director Chris Shorter from DPW, Director Jeff Marudian from DDOT, Director Laura Zeilinger from Department of Human Services, Director Julia Irvin from the Mayor's Office of Community Relations and Services. I'm joined by our City Administrator Rashad Young, Director Julie Lawson, Clean Cities. We're also joined by members of our public utility team, David Gaddis, who is the GM and CEO of DC Water, David Velasquez, President and CEO of PEPCO, Paul Wiedenfeld, the General Manager of WMATA, and any of the council members who would like to be present for questions. We will take questions at the conclusion of my remarks and Director Rodriguez's remarks. We are, of course, preparing for Hurricane Florence, and I want to assure the public that all the information that we have, we will share so that they can make preparations to be safe. This morning, I signed a mayor's order declaring a state of emergency effective immediately. This ensures that we will have the resources and supports we need to prepare for Florence. As you might remember, the last time I declared a state of emergency was on January 21st, 2016, in preparation for a large snow. So that we can make sure everyone gets timely updates through the week. We are asking all residents that have not already done so to sign up to receive text alerts at alertdc.dc.gov. alertdc.dc.gov. By doing so, you can receive important information through text and email. In addition to signing up for alerts, we also ask that each of you reach out to your family members, friends, and neighbors who may need assistance getting signed up. While we're still tracking Hurricane Florence's trajectory, we are also, as the hours and days move on, will have a better sense of its potential impact on D.C. We know that there will be flooding, heavy rain and wind, and likely power outages. So given that we know this already, we want residents to prepare accordingly. Get to the grocery store, make sure you have your medications, make sure you have flashlights and batteries. And residents can go to ready.dc.gov for more tips on how to prepare. I'll also add that the DC 311 app may be added to your phone. We're asking all residents to use 311 to report flooding and other non-emergency needs. As we monitor this weather event, we will continue to provide updates and get information out to our residents. We know that we have several special events planned in the city this weekend, and we are working with organizers to identify a new date for Fiesta DC and the H Street Northeast Festival. They are being rescheduled, and that information will be made as soon as it's available. I would like now to call on Director Chris Rodriguez, who leads our Emergency Management Agency.
Thank you, Mayor. The D.C. Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency is the central coordinating agency for the district's overall response to potential hurricanes here in the nation's capital. Since last week, at the Mayor's direction, HSEMA has been monitoring the storm and briefing her senior leadership team. We have been coordinating with district agencies as well as our key regional and federal partners regarding any necessary actions that we need to take ahead of Hurricane Florence making landfall. As of this morning, as the Mayor said, what we can tell you about the predicted path of the hurricane is that the district will experience heavy rain, and that will result in localized and surge of flooding, particularly among our low-lying areas, down trees, power lines, and possible outages and transportation disruptions. Now, it's important to note that weather forecasting associated with this hurricane and with all hurricanes is complex. It's constantly changing. But again, under the mayor's leadership, we're not going to let up on our preparations until we are sure that the district is in the clear. HSEMA is also preparing the district's Emergency Operations Center for extended response and recovery operations, and we are coordinating with the directors of the district agencies behind me, as well as with our utilities and our federal partners. We are on a daily basis also coordinating with critical infrastructure and public transportation partners, including Metro, to ensure that our efforts, preparedness efforts, are coordinated as well. Now, while hundreds work behind the scenes to prepare the district, I just want to reiterate what the mayor just said, and that is for district residents to be our preparedness partners and to take several steps. The first is to sign up for those alerts that the mayor mentioned at alertdc.dc.gov. That is the way we will be communicating with the public throughout the duration of this event. The second is to restock your supplies and review your individual and family emergency plans. Make sure your cell phones, mobile devices are charged. Make sure you have cash on hand. Your prescriptions are up to date and full through the end of next week. Take an inventory of items that you need to rely on for electricity, including personal medical equipment. Talk to your medical providers about power outage plans for devices powered by electricity and refrigerated medicines. Finally, do not stand or walk through standing water. There will be flooding in the district, so I just want to urge residents to be careful of that. Just 6 inches of moving water can knock you down, okay? And 1 foot of moving water can sweep a vehicle away, and potentially putting first responders at risk of trying to rescue someone. For additional tips, again, as the mayor mentioned, on how to prepare, go to ready.dc.gov, and I'll invite the mayor back for any questions that you have.
Questions? Yes, Sam.
I know in the past you've distributed sandbags for people that want to sandbag. What's the situation?
We will be likely noticing a sandbag pickup location. We're trying to get it as localized as possible.
That's forthcoming?
Come again?
That's forthcoming, is what you're saying?
Yes, if we find that that's necessary, we will advise on the locations for the distribution points. Yes. Sure. Well, DDOT will, and I'll ask our director to come up on all transportation issues, and if Metro would like to make a comment about preparations regarding to transportation, I'll turn to Mr. Wiedefeld.
Good morning. Our team at DDOT has been working across the entire agency, and these are events that we prepare year-round for. So first and foremost, we are prepared to handle the volume of tree issues that may arise. Our in-house crews are prepared to address any downed trees, tree limbs that are potentially impacting power lines. We will work very closely with our colleagues at PEPCO to address those types of emergencies. We also have additional backup emergency contracted crews available to assist our in-house team. We will be staging equipment at key areas which have been prone to high water volumes. Those types of roadways will have additional personnel available to assist with any emergencies that are necessary. It will be an all-hands-on-deck effort for our agency, so we'll have members of our traffic control teams and others available to assist. If there are signal outages, we will also have backup generators to ensure that there's coverage at major intersections. I will defer to Paul Wiedefeld to address the Metro-specific concerns, but as Director Rodriguez suggested, we are very closely coordinating with all of the agencies that are here, all of the utility companies, to ensure that all equipment, anything that's out there right now at construction sites, is safe and secure and prepared for the volume of water that we are anticipating.
Morning. First and foremost, I want to thank the mayor and her entire team for working with us to prepare for this. We're doing a number of things as well, both obviously monitoring, preparing. Just to give you one example, in our underground tunnels, we have 58 pumps that can pump 50,000 gallons of water an hour. So we're exercising all those pumps right now, but we'll have mechanics standing on call if there's any issues during the event. Right now, we plan on normal service. We will monitor. Obviously, the winds are a big concern to us, not for our equipment, but for our customers going out there, particularly on elevated platforms, and obviously if there's heavy water penetration. But one thing I do want to recommend for some of our customers, and that's our Metro Access customers, if possible, if at all possible, to cancel trips on Thursday and Friday until we see this play out. They're some of our most vulnerable customers, and we just want to make sure that they remain safe at all times.
Sam.
I have a question about DC water.
Go ahead. What's your question, Sam?
Well, are they going to be out cleaning the catch basins? That's one of the things that we often see.
Related to flooding. Mr. Gaddis.
Thank you very much. As you know, there's approximately 25,000 catch basins in the district. We are out cleaning all the catch basins. We do clean them throughout the year, and so we are actually doing overtime right now to do so. But including on top of that, we are also going to have approximately 500 of our individuals in our organization ready at the hot spots that we've identified throughout the district. There's approximately 20 of those hot spots. They are prepared to go to those hot spots. We will tell the residents here in the district that if they do see flooding, don't hesitate to give us a call. We will get out and attempt to unclog whatever it may be and alleviate the flooding or the pooling of water as well. But we are on top of the catch basins and cleaning all of those.
Tell me a little more about that. 500 people? Or?
The 500 employees is what we plan to have in place this week to help in any issue that may come about regarding stormwater within the district.
I'm just going to, yes.
My question is, the National Park Service levy system created to protect downtown?
What is the question?
National Park Service levy system created to protect downtown BC in case of flooding?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to ask Director Rodriguez to talk about that.
Yes, we've been in constant contact with National Park Service on the 17th Street levee. They are closely monitoring the gauges along the Potomac, particularly at Wisconsin. When those gauges start to move up, we will have 24-hour notice of any potential flooding that would happen in that area. It takes about 4 hours to erect the levee. So we feel we have sufficient preparations in place in communication with National Park Service to ensure that we take those protective measures.
Okay, Dave, I'm going to ask you to come up to talk about the PEPCO preparations. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you. PEPCO is in full preparation mode at this point. We have activated our emergency personnel. We have in place our incident management teams. We are beginning to schedule shifts for the weekend to ensure that we have adequate 24-hour coverage throughout the weekend, no matter what might happen. In addition to that, you need to know that we have over 600 line personnel and over 150 tree personnel here at PEPCO ready to respond to any emergency. In addition to that, through our relationship as part of the Exelon family of companies, we are also bringing in additional personnel both from Chicago and from Philadelphia. The Chicago crews will begin traveling tomorrow. The Philadelphia crews, being closer, will start traveling later in the week. So we are in full preparation mode. The last thing I would do is encourage any customers, if you see a downed wire, do not approach a downed wire. In hurricanes, most of the damage is caused by falling trees, falling tree limbs because of the wind and the water. When that happens, it can bring down the power lines. For your safety, do not approach those lines. Give us a call through 1-877-PEPCO-62. We also have a mobile app as well as our website, pepco.com, where you can report outages or any other issues that customers have. Thank you.
And last, yes, ma'am.
Do you guys have specific areas where you're monitoring close, like for flooding or?
Yes.
what areas are those?
Yes, so in addition to answering your question, I'm going to ask Director Rodriguez to go day by day on what the current weather forecast is beginning tomorrow. And then you'll answer your question.
So the current forecast, and again, this is as of this morning, for the next several days, we will begin to see rain enter the area, particularly in the district, starting sometime late Thursday and into Friday as Florence makes landfall in the Carolinas. There's, according to the National Weather Service, a 95% chance that that's where it's going to make landfall. The amount of rain that we'll see here in the district will depend on whether the hurricane stalls over the Carolinas and its trajectory after it makes landfall in the 48 to 72 hours, again, after it comes onto the East Coast. So we'll begin to see rains Thursday night into Friday and throughout the weekend if the current forecast holds. So we will see torrential rain for at least potentially 3 to 4 days. And again, we are taking necessary precautions to ensure that we're ready for that with all the individuals behind me. And of course, we are briefing the mayor constantly as this forecast is evolving. To the point about flooding, we do have a consolidated map that shows all of the areas that traditionally flood within the district. We've shared that with the mayor as recently as yesterday evening. And we are, again, taking preparations not only with the agencies behind me, but with the ANCs and with all of the residents in those areas. And so, again, these are models, and they are based on the current predictions. And over the next 24 to 36 hours, we'll be able to narrow those areas so that we can begin to, again, take those necessary precautions.
Thank you.